give you information. In John's gospel, the world means a system of organized society hostile to God. Why did she talk? Because of God. Encourage your hearts for a few minutes and get out of your way. Those who have your Bible, go to 2 Kings chapter 2. 2 Kings chapter 2. Amen, amen. Y'all there? Yes. So I guess to get out of the way. Go to verse 9. I'm going to read 9 till about 14. And so it was when they had crossed over that Elijah said to Elisha, Ask what may I do for you before I am taken away from you? Elisha said, Please let a double portion of your spirit be upon me. So he said, You have asked a hard thing. Nevertheless, if you see me when I am taken from you, it shall be so for you. But if not, it shall not be so. Then it happened as they continued on and talked, that suddenly a chariot of fire appeared with horses of fire and separated two of them, and Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. And Elisha saw it. And he cried out, My father, the chariot of Israel and his horsemen. So he saw him no more, and he took hold of his own clothes and tore them into two pieces. He also took up the mantle of Elijah that had fallen from him, and went back and stood by the bank of the Jordan. Then he took the mantle of Elijah that had fallen from him and struck the water and said, Where is the Lord God of Elijah? And when he also had struck the water, it was divided this way, and that Elijah crossed over. You may be seated. I want to talk briefly this morning from the subject, position for the double portion. Amen. Position from the double portion. As many of you all know as believers that timing is everything with God. Amen. Positioning is key. Yes. God has a way of putting us in a certain place to receive a certain thing. Amen. Yes. And what I found out in life is that if you don't allow God to position you for what he has for you, you can find yourself waiting many years for that to come back around. Okay. So it's mindful to be sensitive to the leading and the positioning of God. Amen. All right. I'm not going to be before you long, but the background of our text is 2 Kings. The last time we talked about Elijah, he was on the run from Queen Jezebel. Yeah. She had told him that after he defeated her prophets, he said, Tomorrow you're but a dead man. So we know from 1 Kings 1, that he began to be afraid and went into a cave. If you're allowed to say, he was depressed. And so after God spoke to him and got him out of the cave and put him back on his right road, he said some things to get him going. Now, before I get too far into the text, I want to let you know something. You already know, but let me remind you. As believers, we do have a God-ordained purpose. Y'all know that, right? Yeah. Amen. We also have seasons in which God strategically moves within our lives to bring about those desired and designated purposes. Amen? Amen. Now, God will move 4 ways to bring you to his purpose. Number 1, there is selection. God selects you with an intent to do something for you and through you. Amen? Amen. Right. In other words, you are elected. Yes. Then there are situations. God divinely orchestrates events in your life to bring about his purposes. There is always also his timing. God has a way of putting us at the right place at the right time. All right. And the fourth one kind of deals with what I want to look at today, desires. God works on you internally to move you to your purpose. Amen. All right. The Bible says that he that desires the office of a bishop or a pastor desires a good work. Oh, y'all missed it. Oh, he that desires. Yeah. So in other words, when God calls you to that office, he has actually placed a desire within you to seek that which he has for you. So some of the stuff that you think you want because you want it, actually God is working in you through your desires because that's what he wants for you and you thought it was all you.
All right.
Let me say this as y'all sleep. In other words, some of the blessings that you thought that you really wanted was something he really wanted to give you.
Yes, sir. All right.
Y'all sleep this morning, but that's all right. So now as we look at the text, now over in 1 Kings 19, Elijah's in the cave. Now, one thing that God told Elijah when he came out of the cave, he says, look, I need you to go, I'm going to give you some help. You got some work to do, Elijah. He said, go anoint Hazael and go anoint Jehu. These people are going to help you, but he also says this, go and anoint Elisha. He's going to be the one to replace you.
All right.
He said, I'm going to give you some help, but by the way, I'm getting ready to take you out of here before long. So I need you to go anoint Elisha. Now, Elijah went and found Elisha plowing in the field.
Yes.
He walks over to him, throws his cloak on him, and walks off. Then Elisha says, let me say goodbye to my parents and everything. And so at that point, Elisha starts following Elijah.
All right.
Y'all got to stay with me. See, because God had already said, you're going to be gone before long, but I need you to pick this guy. He's going to be the one
All right.
to carry on your work.
Yes.
He was selected. So now what you get now is we get to chapter 2. The text lets me know, verse 1. And it came to pass, when the Lord would take up Elijah to heaven by whirlwind, that Elijah went with Elijah from Gilgal. Now, what you have here, it has become public knowledge some kind of way that this is Elijah's last day or time on earth.
Amen.
But Elisha and Elijah have been hanging out together.
Yeah.
Now, they're going to be on a journey, but you got to stay with me. It's a journey between two that God has ordained.
Amen.
Now, God has already said Elisha is to be his successor.
Amen.
Now, a lot of us, God will select you for a thing and you stay right where you are.
All right.
That's all I do.
All right.
So they said they went from Gilgal. Now, Gilgal, at these places he's going to visit, there was school of prophets there. But now Elijah and Elisha went from Gilgal. Now, when you look at Gilgal, it means the place of separation and new beginning. It was here that the males first were circumcised and the covenant was renewed. So when you think of Gilgal, you think of separation and new beginnings. Now, on a journey, you have to keep on moving. Many people start out on journeys to their blessings and dreams, but they get sidetracked in places too long because they are complacent.
Oh, yes.
See, that's a place of new beginnings and separation, but now Elijah's on the move. You can stay here if you want, but I'm getting ready to go. See, on a journey, that's why it's called a journey.
Oh,
You got to keep it moving.
Yeah.
Now, God has already selected Elisha, but God is getting ready to test Elisha. Now, God had told Abraham, I'm going to bless you.
Amen.
Yes.
God selected Abraham, but God also tested Abraham.
All right.
Amen.
All right.
Y'all sleep, but that's all right.
Now, preacher.
God can select you for a task, promise you a blessing, but there's still a process you have to go through until you get it.
Oh, yes.
Now,
Oh, yeah.
Elijah's going to visit 3 locations. And in each location, Elijah is going to tell Elisha, why don't you stay here?
All
He's
right.
going to say tarry. Let me tell you what that means. Tarry, it means that, basically it means to sit down in judgment, sit down and consider. For each of these journeys, Elijah will tell Elisha to sit down and consider whether or not you want to continue.
All right.
So just like Abraham had his test, now God is actually testing him about his commitment and faithfulness. How many of you all, God has told you a thing, but after a while, you kind of wonder, is it going to come to pass? But it might be because you're not in the right position, or you might not be exhibiting the right characteristics.
All right.
So watch this. Sometimes God will take us through some places and experiences to see what we're made out of.
Amen.
The first place he goes to is Bethel. Verse 2. And Elijah said unto Elisha, tarry here, I pray for thee, for the Lord has sent me to Bethel. And Elisha said to him, as the Lord liveth, and as thy soul liveth, I will not leave you. So they went down to Bethel, and the sons of the prophets that were there at Bethel came forth to Elijah and said unto him, knowest thou that the Lord will take away your master from you today? He said, yeah, I know it. Be quiet.
Oh, yes.
Now, Bethel means the house of God. It means the house of God. It's a place of dreams. It was here that when Jacob first met God, with the angels going up and down. Now, the place of dreams. Elijah could not be detoured from being positioned because of opportunities. Watch this. He's going with him. Elijah said, okay, son, stay here, but you can stay here, but I got to go on somewhere else. Stay here, set yourself up. He didn't do it. He could not be detoured by an opportunity. He could have stayed there and started up his own thing, but he kept moving. Let me ask you a question. Why are you trying to stop and God still moving?
All right. All right.
And anyway, move on. Y'all sleep this morning. That's all right. Watch this. Opportunity. He could have stayed there and started his own thing. Wasn't time. And that wasn't the place.
All right.
Amen.
All right.
Now, he had opportunity to stop following Elijah. Watch it, because the other, this is what they really were saying. Why are you still following this old man? The Lord is through with him and is calling him to heaven today. You'd be better off to stay here with us or strike the ground, strike up your own thing. How many times have you been following the Lord, looking for a thing, and folk are trying to say, why are you doing what you're doing?
Oh, yes.
Why are you following an old man? His time is up. But if you link to somebody and God has not said their time is up, why are you leaving them? If God has put you with a person or put you in a place, why are you allowing people to deter you from what you know you need to be doing?
All right. All right.
Now watch this. Elijah's still on the move. Why should Elijah be still? If God is still moving, why you stop? Now, this place was also called a place of dreams. Some people never move from dreaming.
That's right.
Some people get a dream and they get stopped right there.
That's right.
But in order for your dream to come true, you have to keep it moving.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Next place, verse 4. Elijah said unto him, Elisha, wait here, I pray thee, for the Lord has sent me to Jericho also. And he said, as the Lord liveth, as thy soul liveth, I will not leave you. When you going to Jericho, guess what? I'm going too.
Right with you. Amen.
Why is it that sometimes God leads you in the good places you're willing to follow? But when he leads you down some unfamiliar places, you wonder, is it God?
All right. All right.
Y'all sleep, but that's all right.
Oh, yes.
That's the reason some of us in the shape we're in. We want all the glory, but we don't want a story. We want the goodness of God, but no commitment from God. That's why you're in what you're in, since y'all want to act like that. Bottom line is, you don't want to get with the program. You're only happy when the blessings come. But when the trials and times and testing, you want to start complaining. But that's all right.
All right. All right.
That's all right.
Yes.
See, before God bless you, He gonna make sure He know what's working in you. See, because I told you before, some people say, how come I'm not blessed yet? Because if He gives you what you want, you gonna mess it up.
All right.
Amen.
God never gives us what He has for us if we're not prepared for it and it's prepared for us.
Amen.
Why this?
Amen.
Now, same thing. He said, I'm not gonna leave you then. You got these the prophets, they say the same thing. Why are you hanging around with Elijah, when you know his time is up? Again, now, Jericho was a place of past victories. That was the first victory they had and went into the promised land. How many of you all know, along your Christian journey, sometimes you still stuck on yesterday's blessing?
Oh, yes.
You still talk about what the Lord did. Well, as long as you talk about what the Lord did, you can't focus on what the Lord gonna do. It's like this here. Some of y'all still riding on yesterday's anointing, but God is trying to do a new thing, but you stuck in the old thing. I told you before, just because the money came in the mailbox last time, don't mean it's coming this time. But some people get stuck. Well, God gave you a mighty victory. Yeah, that's one, but our God is a God of movement. So why are you trying to be stagnant?
All right. All right.
It's all right?
All right.
I'm hurting you out of the way today.
Come on, brother.
Now, Jericho, they said, why are you still following this old man? Don't you know? He's getting ready to go. Elijah said, I ain't staying here neither. I love this guy.
Yes.
I'm linked to him.
Oh, yes.
And that's the same way you should be with God.
Oh, yes.
Amen.
Oh, yes.
After this, I'm about to believe it or not. So he goes to Bethel. He goes to Jericho. And each time, stay here, son. As long as you live, I ain't leaving.
Amen.
All right.
Can I ask you a question? How many of y'all got that commitment to God? God, as long as you with me, I'm with you.
Yes, sir.
If you go here, I go here, you go there. I'm with you, God, wherever.
Oh,
I'm
yes.
going. Then he said, look here, son. Verse 6 and 7. Elijah said to him, wait here, I pray you. For the Lord has sent me now to go to Jordan. And he said, as the Lord liveth, and as your soul liveth, I'm not leaving you.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
See, God has selected this man. Y'all stay with me. But he's also positioned this man.
Yes.
And the thing about it is, God has sometimes positioned you with some people and some places, and it's key for you to stay right where you're supposed to be.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Amen.
Now, he got to the Jordan. He said, look here, I'm not going to leave. Verse 7. And 50 men, sons of the prophets, went and stood to view afar off. And the two stood by Jordan. Now watch this. Jordan is a place of death. Jordan was where you crossed over from one way into the new lane.
All right.
See, a whole lot of people get stuck. In other words, you walking in the flesh and dealing with the spirit. A whole lot of folk don't want to move from one way and cross over to another way.
All right.
Some people, in other words, that's a hurdle. Some people watch hurdles. You got all these people over there looking to see what's going to happen. Y'all miss that. Some people watch hurdles. They stop to look, but then you got some people that approach hurdles.
Yeah.
Elisha was right there with him at the hurdle.
Amen.
You got to realize you're going to have some hurdles. Some people never move past yesterday's movements on that journey. They got a hurdle.
Yeah.
But Elijah's still saying, I'm not going to leave you.
Amen. Amen.
Then we get to verse 8 and I'm getting ready to go. Elisha took his mantle and wrapped it all together. He smote the water. Elisha took his mantle, rolled it up, pow, it hit the water, it divided.
Yes.
He and Elisha, they walking through. They walking through. Get ready to go. All this journey, he's been right there. He couldn't get rid of this guy. He sees him part the river. Now look at verse 9. And it came to pass, when they were gone over, Elijah said to Elisha, ask what I shall do for you before I'm taken from you.
Whoa.
What you want me to do for you?
All right.
What you want me to do for you? Elisha said, I pray thee, let me have a double portion of your spirit.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Let me have a double portion of your spirit. Elijah said, I pray. He said, let me have a double portion. Now, let me tell you what that is. A double portion. The idea of the double portion was not to ask for twice as much as Elisha had, but it was to ask for the blessing of the firstborn.
Oh, yes.
He says, I want to be the firstborn, recognize the firstborn of you, as far as power. He wanted to be regarded as his successor. Watch this. God had already done that.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Yeah.
So what he's doing is he's asking for a greater blessing to fulfill that which God has already given him. Y'all miss it. So in other words, you have it because you're blessed, but his desire working in him want him to ask more to complete what he's already been given to do.
Right.
How many of you all are asking to be empowered to do what God has already given you to do?
Amen.
Now, I like this. I don't know what it is. I don't know what is blessing you have for God. But how many of you are asking, Lord, give me more so I can do more for you?
All right.
I ask you this morning, is your blessing tainted because you want fame? You want to be recognized?
Oh,
Do
yes.
you want more money?
Uh-huh.
Or are you asking for double to bless?
Amen.
Don't look at his. Now, I like this. It's not selfish. Your blessing you're looking for, is it self-centered? Is it to put money in your pocket? Is it all about you? Or is it to do greater? Elijah
yes.
says this,
Oh, yes.
and I'm out. Elijah said, verse 10, thou hast asked a hard thing. And you done asked the hard thing. Now, he's not saying, I want to be doubly anointed. I just want to have more of your spirit to do your work.
Oh, yes.
Amen.
Oh, yes.
Elijah said, you done asked the hard thing. And what he's really saying is, it's not mine to do.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
But he says, if you see me when I'm taken away, I'm out of here now.
All right.
He says, oh yeah, by the way, what you asked is not really within my power to do. See, because Elijah himself didn't realize when he was going home. It was sometime during the day.
Yes.
But timing is of the essence.
Oh, yes.
But if you're in line for a blessing and you don't know when it's coming, you might want to hang with the blesser
Oh, yes.
regardless of where he take you. Although the paths may be trying, you might want to hang with the blesser.
Oh, yes.
You might not understand where you're going, but you might want to hang with the blesser.
Oh, yes.
See, you don't know when it's coming and how it's coming, but you might want to hang with the
Oh,
blesser.
yes.
He say it's not within my power to do it.
No, sir.
But watch this, God is even in it because he asked a question.
Yes.
What can I do for you?
Oh, yes.
God already knew his desire.
Oh, yes.
But the blessing for his desire is he has to be in the right position at the right time to get his double
Oh,
portion.
yes. Oh, yes.
You asked a hard thing, Elijah.
Oh, yes.
Elisha, but I tell you what, if you see me when I leave here, it's going to be something.
Oh, yes.
But if you don't see me, it ain't something.
All right.
In other words, you got to stay connected. Regardless to your distraction. You better stay connected. Regardless to the opportunities that you have to do your own thing.
Oh, yeah.
You might want to wait on God to do his thing. But you got to stay connected and be positioned for the blessing. He said, wait a minute now. If you see me, son, it's going to be done for you.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
How many of y'all know? Verse 11, as they were walking along and talking,
All right.
suddenly a chariot appeared
Wow.
by horses. Now all they just talking, they just walking. He said, look, what you want for your double portion, you got to be around me when I leave.
All right.
Some of us, God has already said, I'm going to bless you. But you done got lost. You ain't where you need to be. But Elisha's going to be right there where he's supposed to be. He said, if you see me, Elisha has already shown, I know how to persevere to get my blessing. The key to getting this double portion is perseverance.
Oh, yes.
Up to this point, he's had all opportunities to leave, but he didn't leave.
No, sir. No, sir.
So all of a sudden, right after that, even though he asked it, God was already in agreement.
Oh, yes.
Why? Because God had already seen he was faithful.
Yes, sir.
All right.
And as they walked and talked, here come the chariot with fire. And he sees Elisha being carried away. Enoch did not die. Elisha did not die.
All right.
They were carried away.
Oh, yes.
But now he says, if you see me, it's yours. And they said they continued walking and talking. Then all of a sudden, God brought it to pass. The chariot came, takes Elijah up, and he's hollering, my father, my father, my father. The cloak falls on him. He tears his clothes, he gets his cloak, and he takes it. And then he's going to slap the water. And the same thing that happened for Elijah
Oh, yes.
now has happened for him.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
The point of it all is, if he had not been in position,
Oh, yes.
he would have not got the blessing.
Oh, yes.
This morning's message is about regardless to the pathway you're traveling, don't be distracted. Don't be detoured. Don't get off track. But if you started with God, continue with God. Because as you walk with him and talk with him, watch this, he just walked, and before you know it, that which you ask will fall right to
Oh,
you.
yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Man.
Amen.
As
Man.
I'm gone.
Oh, yes.
Some of y'all looking like, well, that's it. Yeah, because the bottom line is, God has got many of you on a path to be blessed. But people get in your head. Can I make it plain?
Yes, sir.
Make it very plain.
Okay.
God has positioned you to receive a mighty blessing.
Oh, yes.
But sometimes God will let things happen to see if you're going to stay committed and faithful to Him. A lot of us, God got us on a path. People talk to you. They try to talk you out of position. People make it seem like the way you're going is not the right way.
That's right.
The people
Right.
you following are not the right people.
Right.
Yeah.
But when you've been linked up and positioned by God, don't let anything move you out of position, because you, just like Elijah, may be positioned for a double portion. I am finished. The doors of the church are open.
Yeah.